Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. It's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitch, and today I'm just going to do a really quick video to answer a question that was asked in the comments section of my last video, wherein I was talking about how to organize your sewing machine needles. Yes, I know, fascinating stuff. But somebody basically asked me, how long I use a needle or how often I change the sewing machine needle. And I thought that this answer deserved a short video because I started writing out a response to it, and it was really quite long. But the answer to that question is quite shocking because I do not follow conventional advice about sewing machine needles. Now, when I started sewing, I was told that you had to change your sewing machine needle. Like when you start a new project, start with a new needle. So at first I did that. But me being me, the person who's constantly saving money, I kind of began to think, oh, hang on, why can't I use the needle for a bit longer? And so basically within the first year of me starting sewing, I dropped the idea of changing your needle every one project or every second project or every third project. I basically sew, I can do up to about 5 or 6 or even 7 projects before I have to change the needle. I can kind of tell when my machine has had it and the needle is no longer sharp enough and it's being problematic, and that's when I change it. And it's worked for me for the last 5 years or so. Remember, I'm not saying that you should do that. If you feel your machine works better that way, then fine. And then this was made, this idea for me, it got even more reinforced when I started getting into vintage sewing machines and actually learning that a lot of people who were using vintage sewing machines, they weren't kind of like changing, they weren't throwing out a machine needle after every single project. So that's how often I change them. But what do I do then when I'm using different weight fabrics? I do notice that there's a difference. I can't use an 80 or a 90 needle when I'm sewing with cotton lawn and all that. So sometimes I have to swap out the needles. So what I do is, say I've been using a 70 needle to sew with cotton lawn, and the next thing that I'm using is a cotton sateen, which is slightly thicker and it needs a thicker one. Well, when I swap them out, I keep the 70 needle for the next time that I need to use it for a cotton lawn. And I keep them, let's see if I can show you here. So what do we have? So here are some needles that have only done like 2 to 3 projects and they need some more use before I can throw them out. So I just thought that that was a really fun question that deserved a little bit more than just a simple yes. Yes, I use it for 5 to 6 projects, but it's just that over the years I have discovered that my machine can actually use these needles for a really long time. And as to why I have so many needles, because I did get quite a few comments about how I have a lot of needles. I basically buy them on sale. That's when I'd always pick them up. And a few years ago, there was a shop that was local to me that was closing down its haberdashery department. And so they were selling off all of the Prem Universal. No, I think it was Hemline. No, it wasn't Prem, it was Hemline. The sewing machine needles, and they were selling them at silly prices, like a pound a cassette. And I just took as many as I could. In fact, basically almost most of the stuff that they had. And so I haven't really had to buy any sewing machine needles for the last couple of years or so. And I don't expect to be buying them within the next few years. So that's a very quick video to talking about, the fascinating subject of sewing machine needles. And I hope that you enjoyed it, found it funny, informative, entertaining, useful. If you did, to give it a big thumbs up down below. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, do ask me in the comments below. I will try and do like short, quick videos where I answer anything to do about sewing. Until I see you next time, guys, happy sewing. Bye.